I remember the first war, the way the sky burned, the faces of angels destroyed.
Hello everyone and welcome to another video by Centipede Geek. Today I'm going to talk about the NBC original television series by the name of Revolution. I'm going to discuss my thoughts and opinions upon episode 14 titled The Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia. And without any further ado, let's go ahead and get to it, shall we? So pretty much what we have going on in this episode is Miles Matheson and the rest of his crew is going out to try to find a nuclear bomb that is within the Georgia Federation. So they're leaving the Monroe Republic, that landscape. They're leaving that landscape for the first time and heading over to Atlanta, Georgia, because a nuclear bomb is there. And in this episode, we are introduced to a new character. He actually dies in this episode. Spoiler alert. Anyways, we are introduced to a new character by the name of Alec, and it was actually an old friend that Miles Matheson has, and Alec is the one who is under Monroe, and Alec is actually the man who has this nuclear bomb. And so that's pretty much what this episode is about. They're trying to stop this nuclear bomb from going off. And throughout this episode, we keep having flashbacks of Miles Matheson and his old friend Alec. And we keep seeing, they used to be friends, they're not now. And the reason they're not friends is because back when Miles Matheson was a second-in-command general under Monroe, whenever he was a second-in-command general under Monroe, he ended up actually turning in Alec I forget who he turned him into, but he ended up turning him into some bad people, and in the process, Alec got hurt because of it. So we have that going on. There's a great fight scene at the end. In the end, of course, the nuclear bomb does not end up going off, though it gets very close to going off. Another crucial moment in this episode is at the very beginning. Monroe finds out that Tom Neville's son is actually alive, and that Tom Neville is a traitor to the Monroe Republic. We don't see Tom Neville at all in this episode. We just know, just like from the last episode, episode 13 titled The Song Remains the Same, for episode 13, Tom Neville ran off out the middle of nowhere so he could protect his son and his wife and himself, most importantly, because he doesn't want, his family, of course, because he doesn't want to die, of course, and he doesn't want his family, his wife, or his son to die. So we have that going on. And now Monroe knows that he's a traitor, and most of all, Monroe knows that, Tom Neville has been lying to him about his son being alive for quite some time. So I can't wait till that story arc comes in the future between Monroe and Tom Neville, because Neville was pretty much, after Monroe left, Tom Neville is now, he's not now, but he was after Miles Matheson left, pretty much the second-in-command general, and now he's pretty much just a runaway guy that's trying to protect his family. So we have that going on. And while the rebels are going to Atlanta, Georgia, Aaron and Rachel, Charlie's mom, Aaron and Rachel are off going to the tower. And what they want to do at the tower is they think that if they can go to the tower, Rachel knows that she can turn the lights back on. So in the process, they're looking for a girl by the name of Jane. And Jane is someone that Rachel used to know. They're not good friends now, but they used to be real good friends. And that if she can get to Jane, she can give her a book, and that book knows information about where the tower is at and, when they can turn the power back on. And we also learned something very crucial about these thing called nanobites, and we don't know the full information about them yet. I may be a little confused, but I don't think I am. I could be, though, so let me know in the comment board if I am. There seem to be these new things in the story arc by the name of these nanobites, and these nanobites are put into people that have diseases, and they seem to keep you alive. So, Danny was one of the ones being kept alive by these nanobites, because we were wondering what the heck that thing was that she took out of Danny, her son, Rachel's son, whenever he died. And they seem to be called nanobites, and these nanobites are something that keep sick people with diseases alive, because we all know he had asthma. That's why he had breathing problems, why he kept having the inhaler. When we learn about these nanobites more, one of Jane's friends is also dying. She seems to have a cancer, and these nanobites keep her alive. Well, the overall arc of this episode also, besides them going after the nuclear bomb, is that they find out that when they turn the power back on, these nanobites get shut off, which means a lot of people are going to die because a lot of people are depending upon these nanobites to live. So that's I guess something non-electronic, or maybe these pendants, something is keeping these nanobites to keep people with diseases alive. And if they turn the power back on, it seems that a lot of people with the nanobites in them are going to die. So we have that going on. Another great twist. One of the best scenes in this episode is actually when we are first introduced to Jane, and Jane walks up to Rachel, and at first just these guys start burning at the crisp, their hands and their fingers and their eyes, and they just start bleeding and burning from every pore in their body, and it's a crazy scene. They don't light on fire, but they're pretty much burning, and that was a crazy scene. Definitely the best scene in the episode. I really enjoyed that scene overall. Anyways, that's pretty much the basic plot of NBC's television series by the name of Revolution. Overall, for episode 14, titled The Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia. Overall, my thoughts and opinions on this episode: another stellar episode in Revolution on NBC. Just a great episode of the episodic saga. I really enjoyed it. We have some great acting. I think I liked the last episode, The Song Remains the Same, better, just because Tom Neville, was a main character in it. I really like his character. But, episode 14, titled The Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia, another great episode, absolutely nothing wrong with it. And the reason I like Revolution so much, I know I've said this many times before, is that with each episode, Revolution just keeps getting better and better. With every episode, we are one step closer to finding out. We already know a little bit, but we are one step closer to finding out why, in fact, the power went out. But I was looking some stuff up, and the creators of the show said by the end of the first season, we're going to know why the power went out, but that answer is going to, in fact, lead to more questions. So with every answer in this show, it's going to lead to more questions. So, it's not frustrating, but it's just great writing. The creators, the writers of the series are really hooking, their audience viewers in. So I just can't wait to see where the series is going to go. It's really good stuff. There was a scene with Miles Matheson and his niece, it's Charlie's uncle. Anyways, there was a scene with Miles Matheson and Charlie where Charlie tried to, comfort him, and he pretty much says, get the heck away from me, I don't want to talk to you. And that was because at the end of this episode, like I said earlier, he had to stab Alec, because there was a scene where him and Alec, were talking, and they couldn't settle their differences. Miles Matheson tried to, but in the end, he had to kill him in order to save, hundreds of people in the Georgia. So the best thing about this episode, not only was those few scenes, the burning scene and that scene that I talked about, was also another fundamental thing we found at the end of this episode, was that once again, Miles Matheson is going to become a general. This time, not a general with the Monroe Republic, but a general of the rebels. The president of the Georgia Federation, in Atlanta, Georgia, has given him over 200 some men with loads of guns, loads of artillery, all kinds of power and stuff, and now he's the general. So it seems that the series, like I thought it was, is progressing into a huge war with the rebels versus the Monroe Republic, and I can't wait to see that story arc come into play. Anyways, as always, NBC's Revolution comes on every Monday night, 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock for everyone else. Next week's episode is episode 15, titled Home. Once again, that's my episodic review for the NBC's Revolution by the name episode 14, The Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia. Once again, thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe to my page below, and I'll see you guys later with more videos by Centipede Geek.